The need for women to be given equal representation has been stressed at the National Policy Dialogue to commemorate this year's International Women's Day, organized by the Ministry of Women Affairs on Monday in Abuja. This was stated by the Minister of Women Affairs, then Pauline Tallinn, who went down memory lane to acknowledge the efforts of women in the fight for their rights during the colonial era, citing the Aba Women Riot of 1929 to the Egba Women Riot of 1949. She condemned the recent kidnapping of school children by bandits to push home their demand from government, saying it is a setback on the girl-child education policy. The minister, who took out time to appreciate female members of the Federal Executive Council, their resilience and their outstanding performance in their quest for national growth, appealed for one-third of the elective position across party line to be reserved for women.
Increase data generation and management in achieving an equal future in a COVID-19 world. We cannot start small by adopting the qualitative data approach, which is descriptive and can be observed. I want to therefore reiterate my earlier call for all women organizations in the country to submit a comprehensive profile of their members to give us an idea of the existing women professionals, non-professional groups in the country. This will go a long way to help us plan specific interventions as we continue to provide the enabling platforms for all equitable and just society. We must ensure that all responses are informed by robust gender-based analysis which recognize the root causes of gender equality and violence.
To speaking at the event, the executive director of UNAIDS, Winnie Byanyima, said countries like Taiwan, Norway, New Zealand, and Germany that are leading the fight against coronavirus are led by women, and that as Nigeria plans to undergo another constitution review, that the United Nations is willing to support Nigeria in the demand for equitable representation.
And I'm proud to say that even in this difficult time, this crisis of the coronavirus, that women have shone a light on the world, have demonstrated that women can make a difference in leadership. Look at the countries that are making the best progress against COVID. And who's leading these countries? Women leaders. Women prime ministers. So women are showing, but that's at the top. If you look on the ground where it really matters, where lives are lost, who is holding the ground in communities? Who is leading? Who are the community health workers? Who are the people doing safe distancing in markets, in places of work? It is women. Who is nursing, who is caring, who is protecting the vulnerable? It is women leaders at the grassroots. So I celebrate women's leadership in your country, in Africa, in the world. In this crisis, women are making a difference.
On her part, the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed Shamsuna, commended the Minister of Women Affairs on her efforts in ending gender-based violence and said that the Ministry of Finance is working towards improving budgetary allocation on education, especially to fund the newly approved Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment.
Today is also an opportunity to recognize the men and the boys who are taking a stand, raising their voices, and taking concrete steps towards gender equality, and also ensuring that violence against women is ended. We must come together to achieve empowerment and equitable representation of women in leadership and decision-making roles across all sectors of our country, particularly in roles relating to governance, relating to parliament, and also relating to policy making. Even with the progress made so far, we still have a long way to go. Our goal is a far-reaching one. Women and girls still continue to bear the disproportionate burden of the COVID-19 pandemic on the front lines in their homes and across various sectors. We must also give women the opportunities and the tools with which to be socially, financially, and economically empowered, Every woman and girl should be guaranteed safety in their respective homes, in schools, in communities, and in places of work. We must stop gender-based violence and end the so-called shadow pandemic once and for all. This is our shared responsibility as a people.
Present at the event were female ministers, female members of the National Assembly, former members of the National Assembly, development partners of the diplomatic corps, members of the civil society, among others. In Abuja, Shamsuddin Abdurrazak Gidado, iMedia News.